um, we'll be able to have the Dafa recorded. Oh, you can tell the guys inside that they can come in and sit in. That's the reason why they're here.
All right, come on in.
Yeah, everybody's welcome to be here for the reading.
Oh, mommy, daddy, make sure we introduce everybody.
I'm sorry, would you say, yeah?
Make sure you introduce everyone.
Absolutely. Well, yes, absolutely. I'll do that.
Someone goes behind the camera.
Right. There's yeah, most of those people are going to be behind the camera, but I'll introduce them. Hey, take your shoes off before you come into the shrine.
Speaking about the owls.
Oh, yes. Hey, how you doing? Really nice to see you. Good to see you. All right, well, just have a seat. There's a lot more people on this side of it than on, in other words, the computer screen is what I was referring to. Yes, everybody could come in, grab a seat. Greetings to all the Ile, Ago Ile, of Ifiti, the children of Ile Ire, the children of Ile, Ionu, Ile, Suru, who, all those who, even if you couldn't be here at the time of this Dafa, but we are praying for all of us as a collective community in Atlanta. So here I'm the person that's behind the camera, Oluo Sangowola, Ifala de Ologundudu. Also accompanying me is Awoniyi Ogbeyono, Baba Enoch, who will also be assisting and pulling the letter for the year. Also, we have Priest Odun, who is also here to participate in the Dafa. And then we have the Apete B, Naima, I forget your last name, but Jarvis. Naima Jarvis, she's also here at this time, and we have a few Aleos in the building. My Omo Willie Price is here, and another young man, Derek Shore, and their children are here. So these are just all representatives of the community who were able to be here physically present for the Dafa, but we know that there's a lot of people here in spirit. Obviously, everybody here who couldn't make it personally, who are here for the virtual aspect of that. So without further ado, I'll begin the Adaba. Omi tutu, una tutu, ana tutu, ile tutu, tutu egun, tutu eshu, odara, tutu alara ye, tutu eshu oro, tutu ifa, tutu ela. Olumila, the Lord is okay while you. Pastor, Olumila, the Lord is okay while you. The Lord is okay while you. The Lord is okay while you. What you say? Anybody? What you say? Anybody? What you say? 25. So 25 to sorry. I go if I because you got money, let it pay. If I or local so that Olumila, Bada, I go you go. Elaho.
And before we do that, we really should take a look at our resources and just make sure we have enough minutes available. I have quite a bit of memory free. I don't think I'm going to run out anytime soon. On your end, unless you are working ahead, you probably don't have any virtual machines either. So unless you have a host that has very little in the way of RAM, you actually should have no problem setting up virtual machines. Then again, some of my audience, you guys are using things like internet, and some of those, well, they don't have as much RAM as others. So you might be a little start memory in that case, you are the container, like I mentioned in the previous episode, probably makes most sense. Anyway, on my end, I'm good. I have plenty of memory free, plenty of CPU free. I can go ahead and continue. Yours is actually turning to be very high in RAM and your CPU. Well, you might want to find out why before you continue.
We actually your blessing, your guidance, and your protection, Baba. Your assistance, guidance, and wisdom as we perform this Dafa on the collective community. Meji, Mesta, Medi, Model, Mefa, Medje, Meju, Mesa, Mewa, Mokala, Mejila, Metana, Marina, Mula, Mundi. Você tá orando. Você tá orando. Você tá orando. Paulo, Paulo. Vai, demora, vou depois para babá, vai, oye, aqui não está. Aqui não é, aqui vai, me diga o que é. Me diga o que vale, me diga o babá, me diga o papá, me diga o Deus, me diga o como vai, me diga o sim, me diga o como, me diga o Deus, me diga o dá. Eu canso se algo nele. Eu canso se algo nele, eu vou falar, não conheço o que é lá. Para a bom me dizer, ela we can ask for the letter of the day, Baba, on behalf of Baba, okay.
Agalawo, agalawo, agalawo. Baba oye kumeji agalawo,
agalawo.
Baba iwori meji agalawo,
agalawo.
Baba idi meji agalawo,
agalawo.
Baba erosu meji agalawo,
agalawo.
Baba oworin meji agalawo,
agalawo.
Baba obara meji agalawo,
agalawo.
Baba okara meji agalawo,
agalawo.
Baba oguna meji agalawo,
agalawo.
Baba osa meji agalawo,
agalawo.
Onyo. Baba ika meji agalawo,
agalawo. Ejiogbe.
Wow.
Yeah, Baba Ejiogbe.
Okay, well, it might be a little bit calmer than last year. It'll be a lot calmer than last year. Last year was insane, but
yeah. So wow.
It's like, so I think there's even if it comes in Osogbo or even if it comes in EB, it doesn't matter. It's still going to be a lot more calm. All right. Baba Ologundudu meji agalawo,
agalawo.
Baba Otura meji agalawo,
agalawo.
Baba Eje Elimere agalawo,
agalawo.
Baba Ose meji agalawo,
agalawo.
Baba Ofu Meji Akalawo.
Akalawo. Akalawo.
Baba Oshetura Akalawo.
Akalawo. Akalawo.
Baba Oturupon Akalawo.
Akalawo. Akalawo.
I mean, what's the name?
Yeah, come on,
You read yoga?
no, well, nah. With my little one for my Reese's on the Lagoon.
Oh, okay. No. Put your hand in me fire.
Yeah.
Baba Ejiobe Akalawo.
Akalawo.
Baba Oyebu Meji Akalawo.
Akalawo.
Baba Iwori Meji Akalawo.
Akalawo.
Baba Idi Meji Akalawo.
Akalawo.
Baba Erosu Meji. What's that? Obey. I got you. Baba Warren Meji Akalawo.
Obey Warren. I go and you obey. We talk about a whole two and one of see the women to the left and went to the right. Coming today. I hear why.
Baba Obara Meji Warren Meji Akalawo. Akalawo. Baba Obara Meji Akalawo.
Akalawo.
Baba Okara Meji Akalawo.
Akalawo.
Baba Oguna Meji Akalawo.
Akalawo.
Baba Osa Meji Akalawo.
Akalawo.
Baba Ika Meji Akalawo.
Akalawo.
Baba Ologun Meji Akalawo.
Akalawo. Otura also.
Okay.
I say, I go today. I go today. Let's go, baby. I go, Mufimale. I go, Rumina, I saw look on the Rumina, but I go, I go about which one to find, and which form of Ray do for the year 2025. So, the letter is Ejiogbe, followed by Ogbe or Wodin, followed by Otura Irosun. The reading, the year comes with Ire, and so we will seek the Ire at this time. So, because we had a little time earlier, I was able to do the full opening for Ifa and to open up the Opele before we got started.
Let's go.
So that we can expedite this year. I go Ifa. Because your little money later to follow us today. Remember, but I'm going to go about we're going to find what form is the Ire for the year of 2025. I go there, I
This is a good year.
I go there, I J.
Be up for.
I go there, like I go there, Omo. I go there, Ishegun. I go there, Ibeba. Ifario.
Sure. Yeah, might as well go sit down there right now.
Oh shit to that.
Watch it.
Okay. Ifario.
This year's looking good. It's looking way better.
That's Obara. Right. Ifario. Owani Wofun, Teshe Fun. Ifario. Iworidoso. Ifario. Otua Meiji. Ifario. Ogunda Bede. It says Ireo Mo.
Bob, I got to that.
Absolutely.
Oh, so kids.
It says the blessing Ireo Mo. It says the major blessing for the year is Ireo Mo, which is the blessing of children. So we're going to discuss that and momentarily. Really far.
Okay.
Hey man, listen.
Okay.
Children is the best blessing. You know, they say that the greatest blessing is Ire Aiku, right? Because it's the blessing of long life and good health. And it makes that all of the other blessings possible, right? Like, what's the blessing of money if you're dead, right? But they say the blessing of Ire Omo is greater than the blessing of Ire Aiku, because the blessing of Ire Omo means it's the only thing that survives after you expire. Ideally, right? It says because you can't take the money with you. You know what I mean? You can't take the necessarily the fame. You don't get to take all of those things, but the children, they continue to exist beyond you, and they are your legacy. And it's the children that allow you to come back to IA. It's the children that allow you to reincarnate, right? So it's really where it says Ireo Mo really is the greatest blessing, because all things come through the children, and the things that we do and the legacy that we are working to achieve is really more for our children than it is for ourselves, right? And so this says that in this year that the blessing is going to be here. There may be a lot of new births coming this year, but also when we look at Ireo Mo, it's not always just literally children. Sometimes it's the figurative birth. It's the birth of something new. It's the creation of something new, right? And so this says that this is going to be a year of fruition and the birth of new things, possibly new ways of thinking, possibly the birth of a new business. It's not always just going to be just the birth of the new child, right? It
might be more Olorishas.
It may be more priests being born. There's so many different ways that type of energy can manifest, but it's an energy of abundance. It's the energy of fruition. It's the energy of the seeds that you planted actually coming to fruition, to flower. That's birth. And fruition is all his ways. So I think that it's important to. Really, that was looking at a message. Odun Ben. Odun Becco.
No, baby, so.
I go Edgy Ogbe. So when we look at the letters, we always look at what Orisha also is going to be leading in the year. In Edgy Ogbe, essentially all the Orishas live. I would check Obatala first, as he's the head of Orisha. So I go you find because you're little money for look on the shit that Romila. But I go me going to come to find is it Obatala that is the main Orisha that we need to be confirmed with and asking for assistance and blessings for this year of 2025. Ifadio Ikashe Ifadio Ogunda Obada says no, it's not Obatala. I go Ifa is it Orumila Ifa or local Surida Orumila. Will you be the Orisha to appease this year to ensure the array of Omo of abundance in all things? Ifadio Obesa Ifadio Besa. Are they trying to confuse me? Obefun. No, I go Ifa is an Eshu, like Bada, that is the Orisha that must be appeased in order to ensure blessings in Ire in the new year. Ifadio Okani Irete Ifadio Okani Irete Iwori Major. I go Ifa. What would you think?
Charles Shroom.
I go Ifa. Is it Iyalo De Oshun that needs to be appeased? Ifario. Okana Dete. Ifario. Okani Dete Ache. Ochira Obada says it's Oshun. I go Mokori Vale Yalo De. It says it's Oshun that will be leading the year. Agoya. Agoya is this Ire Yale. Ifario. Obeyono.
Obeyono ayade. Boa ye di la ye di bafo. Du wa ye ne fa wa ye. Du wa ku segre, aron segre, o segre. Bobo ajogun segre. No. Oh, you put some money on me.
Ashe.
Oh, my money in the car. Hold on.
Ifario, you want to check this next letter though? Ache says it's Yale. Ago, yeah. Will you accept Ebo for the entire community of one? We're gonna do it to castrate our uncle.
Yeah.
Can
we do like 16 quails? Try to outgo in there.
I go, yeah. Will you take Ebo for the community of one castrate our uncle? I think I can come at for issue. Ifario. That is to the D. Ifario. To the Shay says yes. Ashe. Agoya. It says one castrated male goat and 3 roosters for issue. Agoifa is this Bobo Dada. Ifario. Erosion of Buddha. Ifario.
Why you do that?
Obeyono. Agoifa should Adimu be given to Oshun individually while all those who participate of what do you say? What do you think is a good Adimu everybody can make for Oshun?
Good Adimu. Cinnamon sticks, oranges, and honey.
That's the thing. That's how I thought. Okay, look, that was in my head. I go. Yellow day when you accept Adimu of 5 oranges with 5 cinnamon sticks covered with oyin to be given to either at the foot of Oshun if you have Oshun, or to be given at the bank of a river. Ifario.
What you doing?
What do you obey?
What do you obey?
Iwori ka ache. So the Adimu mark is an offering of 5 oranges, punctured with a cinnamon stick, covered with oyin. You're gonna also cover it with a little gold glitter. Give it to Oshun or Obi and Omututu. If you have Oshun, if you do not, then you can talk to a priest to assist you with it, or you can take it to the bank of a river. Agoifa is this Bobo Dada for the individual Ebo and the community Ebo. Ifario. Osheni Lobe.
Coño. That's a good.
Ifario is a good old
we got some stuff on this year.
Yeah. Ogunda Ofun. So it says there's still a few other things. I go. Should everybody also take a Bomisi Oshun using 5 Ewe Oshun for sweetness, prosperity, love, to remove any negativity in this year as well. Ifario. Obeate. Mofori Bale, Baba, Babamio. Ifario. LJ Limited, Mondukwe.
LJ, come on, hold on. Take $1 out of that. You can cash out or something. Yeah, pop it, baby.
And both of our Odus have hit the mat today. It says, I go, does the Ebomisi need to include Oyin as well as
Opolopo
Oyin, as well as the 5 Ewe Oshun. Ifadio. Irosun Owani.
Why did somebody have it?
Ifadio. Ikashe says, okay, so the bath should include also a lot of honey to ensure sweetness and prosperity in the new year.
Do we need to make the bath for everybody?
Does the bath need to be made by the wolves, including the Odus for the year? Ifadio says, Oditura. Ifadio. No, Obeshe. Okay, I go Ifa, so people can make their own. Each person make their own individual bath? Ifadio.
Why did
so no,
it needs to be made by a child of Oshun.
I go Ifa, does the bath need to be made by a child of Oshun? Ifadio. Otua Meiji. Ifadio. So the bath needs to be made by a child of Oshun. So the recipe for the bath is the 5 Ewe Oshun. They can be picked by the Olorisha that's preparing the bath, and it needs to include a bunch of honey, and it needs to be made by the hands of a child of Oshun. So this means, they say to never disrespect the daughters of Oshun. Right. That we must pay homage to all of the daughters of Oshun. And when talking about the daughters of Oshun, that's really all of the women. All of the women are really daughters of Oshun.
Yeah.
That means I think that it's important that we respect and pay homage to all of the women in our life, whether they be our mothers, our sisters, our daughters, our wives. That we're listening and paying attention to the female perspective, and that we're not over talking them or over speaking them, because they're going to be our path to success, right? Our path to prosperity. And we know that the thing is why I say that we all the children of Oshun is because you can't have Ire Mo
without little Ire.
Without Oshun. Without Oshun's blessings. There's no Ire Mo. I go Ifa, is this Bobo Dada for the Ebos to be marked for the year 2025? Ifadio. Wani Shobe. Ifadio. Idete She. Ache. I go Ifa is the retro for the community Ebo $55. Ifadio. Oshefun. Ifadio. Obewani Agoifa is the derecho for the offering $50. Ifadio. Oturo Obe. Ifadio. Ogunemechi Ache. Agoifa is the derecho for the about $25. Ifadio. To the point, Irosun. Ifadio. Irosun. Let's see, Irosun. What do you think?
I think you need to go back up to 65.
To 65. I go Ifa is the derecho for the about $65. Ifadio. Iwori Ogunda. So the retro, the community retro for the above will be $65 per person that's participating in the above.
Because the thing's gonna be like the overall's gonna be probably like $200, $300.
Yeah.
So
we're gonna have to get the big guy. We're gonna have to get big guy. I go Ifa. Is there other Orisha that need to speak at this time during this Dafa? Ifadio. Bibada. Ifadio. Bibada says Owani Shobe. I go Ifa. is Kawo Kabisile Shango. He also speaking at this time during this Dafa. Ifario Okano Wani. Ifario Oyekuka Achain. Ago Ifa is the Egun that's speaking as well during this Dafa. Ifario Irosuno Gunda. Ifario
Irosu Egutan.
Ogbe Woody.
No. Because the last letter, what's the last letter?
The last letter is Oturosu.
So they're there. Is that everything?
I go to Ebo. That was it for the Ebo, but I asked if there was another Orisha that was speaking, and then I'm gonna make sure that everything is clear. I go Ifa. Is it a Lokun that's speaking as well? Ifario. Owani D. Ifario. Or to the side says it's a Lokun. I go Ifa because a Lokun is Egun, and so it also says that a Lokun is going to speak very heavy and be very prominent in the year of 2024. I go Ifa, is there offering that needs to be made to a Lokun as well? Ifario. Ogundo Obada. Ifario. Yes, it says yes, to the pond or one. I go Ifa is it Adimu Ebo that can be made to a Lokun for prosperity and stability in the new year. Ifario. Odi to the pond. Ifario. Besa. I go Ifa. And the beginning of the year, do we need to do Awan or Lokun to ensure any disease or health issues, mental illness is removed in 2024? Ifario. Obeyono. Ifario. So it says that we need to do Awan for Lokun. I go Ifa, should the Awan for Lokun be done at the beginning of the year ceremony? Ifario. Says Oturo Owani. Ifario. Ogbe Oturo says no. I go Ifa. So that means that for those of us that have a Lokun that we need to do, does the Awan for a Lokun, do people need to do separate Awan or Lokun with their Lokun who have it? Ifario. Ofun to the pond. Ifario. Awani Shobe. No.
So that would be maybe possibly. So we need to do an Awan, right?
Yeah.
The first thing that came to me was one. This is a side note. People who have water taboos need to observe them,
very specifically. Yeah, not to be on the ocean.
So I wonder if this is very specific, if it needs to be done at the ocean. Like if you get to the ocean, like if you're able to get to the ocean or you're by the ocean, you need to make sure you do that.
I go Ifa
versus an Awan, like a big Awan. You could ask about the Awan first, and then if it says no, then
I go Ifa. Do people need to make sure that they are observing any who have taboos to open water, being very observant of their taboos to open water in this year, as well as can people perform a sarayeye, a cleaning of themselves with fruit at the ocean individually? Ifario. Ogbewani. Ifario. Ogbewani Ache. Ogundo Twitter. So it says, yes, okay. I go Ifa, is that Bobo Dada for the information from a local? Ifario. Irosun to the poem. Ifario. Irete Iwori Ache. Ache. I go Ifa. Is this Bobo Dada for the information this year for the cleansing for the year of 2024? Ifario. Osameji.
Olho.
Ifario.
Ashe.
Obewori. Ashe.
Obewehi. That's good. So basically, it's just if you get next to the water, those who do get to go to the sea or maybe a lake or wherever, they need to clean themselves off and give offerings to a local. If you have a taboo,
yeah, stay out the ocean. Stay out the ocean. So, we'll discuss the letters really quickly. So, Ejiogbe is the most senior Odu in Ifa. It's the Odu that I would say we're most familiar with because it represents an open road. Mm-hmm. It represents the path we are open. This is the representation of Alafia. All systems go. The thing about Ejiogbe is we also are always wanting to be careful in Ejiogbe that we're not blinded by the light. And the fact that when the road is open for all things good, it also opens the road for the negativity to come in. And so we want to make sure that we're being steadfast in the things that we're doing. Ejiogbe is the Odu that tells you if you got a good head, then you'll lead people up the mountain. But if you got a bad head, you'll lead people off a cliff, right? And so we got to make sure that we're not so headstrong in the things that we're doing that we lose sight of what the actual goal is. Ejiogbe is, when I think about Ejiogbe, I always think of, they talk about where Ofun was originally the senior Odu in heaven. And because of Ofun's arrogance, he lost his crown, right? And it says that in the early days that Ofun Meiji was the most senior Odu in heaven. And when Olodumare commanded the Olodus to go to earth, he commanded Ofun Meiji to go to earth and to check things out and to organize things first. But because he was the eldest brother and heaven was kind of nice, he decided he was going to chill and he was going to stay. So he calls his baby brother, the youngest, Ejiogbe, hey, come here for a second. I need you to go down to Aye and check it out and tell me what's going on and then come back up and let me know how it is. And so promptly Ejiogbe said, all right, big bro, I'm going to take care of that. And he goes down to Aye and he gets here and he starts making Ifa and things start getting real sweet. Babies start being born, crops start growing, cities start popping up. He builds a nice little house on the hill and he never makes it back to Odun. And after a while, Ofumeji looks around. He says, hey, Oyeku, do me a favor. Could you go down to Earth and tell me what's going on and let me know and come back? And so Oyeku Meiji, he goes down to Earth and he gets here. And as soon as he gets here, he says, hey, anybody know this guy Ejiogbe? They say, oh, you mean the guy that live on top of the hill in a nice house? They, yeah, we'll point you right to him. And so Oyeku go over to Ejiogbe house. And he knocked on the door, and Ejiogbe opened the door. Hey, bro, you made it. Listen, I've been real busy down here. I've been making Ifa, babies being born. I got crops growing. Listen, come on. I'm going to set you up real quick. I'm going to get you a house, too. Go on and help me out. And so what happens? Oyeku Meiji stays on Earth. And then what happens? Ofu Meiji says, hey, man, where's Oyeku? What's going on? So he calls Iwori. Says, Iwori, could you go down and check on Earth and see what's happening? So Iwori Meiji goes down. Hey, anybody see Ejiogbe? And they say, oh yeah, that's the guy that lives in the house. He be helping everybody out. And Iwori Meiji go over there. And he says, hey, bro, nice to see you. Come on in. Let me get you a house. Let me help you out. Let me help you tell you how nice it is down here on Earth. And so one by one, all of the Odus eventually ended up here on Earth. Ofu Meiji started looking around one day, heaven looking kind of empty. Hey, where's everybody at? And so finally, he gets up off his stump and he decides to go from heaven to earth. Says when he gets here, he asks, hey, anybody know Ejiogbe? He's like, yeah, that's the bro of the hill. He just made everything real nice, you know. Earth is kind of thriving at this point. You know, all of the oldest have been down here. They've been taking care of some things. He goes and he knocks on Ejiogbe's door. So, my brother, you have finally arrived. It's good to see you. You know, I got real busy when I got down. And Ofu Meiji looks around and says, damn, bro, you did real nice, man. You know what I'm saying? I'm glad you got all of this set up for me. Yobe looks at him and be like, oh, I'm sorry, bro. I didn't really set this up for you. I got this set up for me. But I got you. I'm gonna put you down. I got a house for you over on the hill. But this is my town now. And this is how Yobe became the first and Ofumeji became the last. Right? It says, so you have to be careful that even when things are given to you, that you don't lose sight of what the goal is, right? That we don't procrastinate, that we don't look at it and say it's so good that I'm not going to do the things that I need to do in order to be deserving of the blessing, right? And just because they gave you the crown doesn't mean that it's going to stay on your head. You still have to do the things that's necessary in order to be worthy of it, right? And so I think that it's important that, as we go into this new year, as we start to see abundance in our lives, that we make sure that we still continue to follow through on the things that we said that we were going to do in order to ensure that that blessing continues to manifest. Because when we did the reading, we said, is the blessing strong? It said it's very strong, Yale. Right. But it says that we still need to make it bold. We may not need to make the biggest bold. We ain't got to do 16 quails, right? We don't got to do 100 doves. It says because the blessing is strong that Oshun is going to cover us, but we need to make sure that we also covering ourselves, and that we also need to make sure that we go on and take care of Olokun, because Olokun is the largest deity that also brings the blessing and keeps us, gives us stability and gives us foundation and ensures that things are stable in our lives, financially stable and mentally stable, so that this is going to be a year of the Omi, the year of the water, right?
Omi Lagba.
Omi Lagba. I know that there are some other awos that are present on the call. Please, if you have any information to share on the Odu, I would love your insight.
So, full Odun, AJ
Ogbe, Owodin, like Ogbe. So at first it's Eji Ogbe, which is Ogbe twice, and then Ogbe Owodin is OGBE, and then OWORIN. Sometimes you hear that as Owani.
Owani or Owanri.
Yeah.
I would say OWR.
OWORIN.
Owanri. Yeah,
and it's a good Odu for money. Talk about money runs. Sometimes it means money run away from you, but in this case, it looked like money might be running to you. Yeah.
And the last one was Otura.
And the last one is Otura Irosu.
So, it's
Otura Irosu. Yeah, OTURA and then Irosu. And this is where the Olokun energy comes in.
This is deep.
Irosun is the IWR.
Erosun is IROSUN.
That's the reason why I say that this is talking about the birth of lots of priests and priests. Because we did have an uptick during the pandemic. Yeah. Initiated. But the Tori Rosun is like, it's deep spirituality. You know what I mean? So it's like people getting even more, maybe even getting better at their practice.
Absolutely.
Because Ejobe is like almost, it's calling us to reaffirm with our Ori. Reaffirm everything. I forgot what the old dudes talk about. There's the other old dude talk about, kind of, I just read it, reinitiating yourself,
Yes, that's the thing that is that every day after initiation, it's your responsibility as a priest to reinitiate yourself. That it doesn't, that the initiation is just the beginning.
So
right.
So this year is like the, hey, double down.
Bring humbleness.
What'd you say?
Bring humbleness.
Bring humbleness, double down your practice. And I guess that'll be a function of humility too. Like, I'm not, just because I made it or got what I wanted or what I was trying to get out of this practice or whatever, doesn't mean I stopped doing what it is that got me there. And that's what he was saying. You know what I'm saying?
It actually in my specific opinion, it actually gets tougher.
Yeah.
Like, I still feel like I'm still in my IWO stage.
Mm-hmm.
Like, the stuff I was coming at me all type of way, it's still calm, but now I'm just calm. I just let the wind take care of it instead of me just blowing out all the emotions.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? So it's a better way to defeat it than how you previous was.
I should. And big thing in Ejobe is humility.
Absolutely.
Super big thing in Ejobe. That we do not get arrogant from whatever successes, or even thinking that we are the source of the race.
Right, because the source of the race is a local body.
We play a part in it. We have agency in it, but we have to, you know, respect everything that plays a part, all the other components that play a part whatever we do, achieve, get, you know, go through or whatever, and come out on the positive side. You have to respect that too. So it's pretty good. Got some goddamn money coming.
Right.
This is, I mean, and this is crazy because, not crazy, but even in this economic time, right? We were already we were going down a hill. Now we're going down a hill very fast in terms of world economics. But it's like, nah, y'all gonna be good.
Yeah, no, it says that we're gonna be good. I got one of the
go ahead.
I go Oshun with me. Let me see if I can find you on here. I see your hand raised. I'm trying to figure out how to
okay, here I am.
Yeah, there you go.
Okay. Yeah. So it's very interesting to me that Oshun is speaking in along with Obatala, because Obe is Obatala speaking. And this year, in 2024, people voted for hate. Okay. And now Oshun is saying we got to bring the love back, you know, because when I talk about voted for hate, with the election, you saw that people voted for the candidate who preached hate amongst all kind of people, you know, and was not inclusive. And it's interesting that the public feels that way. And that's the atmosphere that we're working in. So we always have to be conscious of that. So what Oshun is leading here, that tells me that we have to really, really pay attention to, you know, what we say, how we say it, and how we think about everything that we do, that we're looking on the positive side of things. And even if you have a complaint, find a positive way to look at it and speak on it. That's all about the honey that we're talking.
Complete recording because I couldn't write down everything.
Okay, so
yeah,
I hear.
I mean, they have
hold on,
they recorded it.
Yeah,
can you continue, please?
Yes. So, and then we have Olokun speaking here also, and Olokun is connected to Oshun because Olokun is about the ancestors, and especially for us here in America, because a lot of our ancestors are at the bottom of the sea.
Actually.
And O'Shea, which is Oshun's Odun, talks about the blood that runs through our veins. So it's the continuity that we are the continuation of the Middle Passage. And so with that, since we are going to be building this year, we're going to cleanse from all of the negativity out there and bring new things by birthing new things. We also have to be conscious of Owarini, because that's where you talk about scarcity. And that talks about whatever you do, you have to be very methodical about it. Don't waste anything. Be careful about how your process. And also make sure that when you're building something, that you have a little something on the side, just in case things don't work out. And you have something to fall back on. So I would just say that love is the answer. You know, the picture that I have of me on the Zoom is I went to see Stevie Wonder, and just before the election, and I don't show the other pictures, but his whole thing was love, and he had love all written all over the stage because he felt that this country needed a healing like that. And with Oshun leading, that tells me that he was right on point with that message, and that we really have to understand what Oshun is. Oshun is the energy that brings people together. You know, it's not just love and beauty and fancy things, but that is attractive, and people move toward that energy. So we have to remember that whatever we do, we have to think of being connected. Everything that we do is connected to somebody else. And so, you know, what we're going to work on is our relationships with people. Also, Oshun is about money and commerce, because that's the thing that brings people together more than anything else. People come together because they need goods and services. And that's what the birth of new ideas is going to be about. It's about finding a way within this this negative financial environment that we're in. I mean, and I'll say that it's negative. This morning, I was just really thinking about when I was in the grocery store yesterday and I saw one stick of butter for $4. Okay. That says to me that only certain people can have butter. Okay. Because who can afford to buy a stick of butter for $4 on a regular basis? You know, that to me says something about where we are in this country. And we have to really start to think about how we can move around those kind of energies when they are taught here in New York to go 4.7 miles in Brooklyn. It's costing $45 in a cab. Okay. That is absolutely absurd. You know, we have to look at the environment that we're in. It's not friendly. And we have to find a way to bring that love back so that we can all function and do and have some happiness in our lives. Because if things continue the way they are, we won't be able to enjoy ourselves nearly as much as we used to. So we have to really think about how we're going to circumvent that and build new bridges so that we can thrive and find happiness in our lives. So
I share
Okay, yeah.
coming through. That's right. Look, Colin and Jacqueline said the stock market.
Teachers.
Right. So I think that was very, very poignant, in your assessment of the year, and that is definitely going to be the year to lead with love above all things. And that's one of the reasons why Oshun is speaking. And I think that it's also important to keep in mind that this energy also represents having to deal with and having a connection with Egun. When you see a Olokun speaking, as you was stating, that Oshun is a representation of the blood that runs through your veins. And for a lot of us from the children of the diaspora, we know that Olokun is intrinsically connected to our ancestors, specifically those ancestors whose names that we no longer remember, those ancestors who were either lost to the bottom of the ocean, or who those lines were broken in terms of losing our names when we cross from one side to the other side. And so it's going to be important as well to make sure that we are staying up with making sure that we're keeping together with our spiritual cleansing, making sure that we're feeding Egun, making sure that we're asking for the support of Egun and all of the things that we're doing as we're going forward. But I would like to say that I am very, very happy to see that this is the cast for this year, because last year was rough. You know what I'm saying? The last few years have been very tough. So to see Ejiogbe and Ire Omo, which we talk about, is the understanding is really the biggest blessing, because it is a representation of fruition. It's a representation of those things that will continue to grow and be abundant in this new year. I wanted to ask if there was any other elders who wanted to speak on the Odun before we close. Baba Ademola, I see that you are here. If there's any other elders who wanted to speak.
I'm just so glad that you've done it and that the Odus came as what they did. And what Ia Ashun just said, I could not add to. So I'm just looking when I'm gonna go to the ocean, when I'm gonna get the airballs done because I got 4 daughters and 4 granddaughters.
Wow.
And this is the year to build them up.
Ashe. Well, we will also be doing the community at Bo, the feeding Aunko to Oshun, as well as Meta Akuko to Eshu, and that'll be done on January 18th. So the Ebo will be scheduled for 12 p.m. on January 18th. At that time, we will also more than likely feed Ifa as well. I'll probably do a community at Boriru where Ejiogbe on that day as well, just to ensure that we're looking at great blessings coming into the new year. So that'll be included in the Ebo. At that time, no, we'll feed everybody's Ifa will get fed. If you bring Ifa, Ifa gets fed. Yeah.
So I just want to say that for the people who cannot be there, if you send an offering, that's your participation. And
absolutely. For those who cannot be here in person, you can definitely send the directions so that you can still participate in the community above. The prayers will be made for you. The offerings will be made for you on your behalf. I actually will be doing a registration, so I'll have a list of everybody who's participating in above, whether it is physically or whether it's virtually. We like to make sure that the entire community is able to be involved and participate as we're moving forward in the new year. And to remember that a lot of this represents community building, and that the goal is to be building a community this year. And also, like I said, the main thing about Ejiogbe when it comes to the array of Ejiogbe is not really to be blinded by the light, not to forget that we still have responsibilities that we have to take care of. So as things start to get abundant, not to forget that to come through on the things that we were supposed to do. Like, we don't want to be the Ofun Meiji in the story of Ejiogbe. We don't want to be left behind. We want to make sure that we are doing things in a timely manner, and so that the array definitely manifests.
Yep. All the times you said, if you just give me this, it'll help me to do this, and that. But make sure when you get that
you do what you said that you were going to do, because this is like the year that it says that the things that you've been praying for, you're going to get it. But the responsibility, sometimes we forget the responsibility that comes along with the things that we pray for. That is not just, it's not just the blessing, but the responsibility that goes along with it, and to make sure that we follow through and we're consistent in what we're doing.
Sure.
I want to thank everybody for being here, for taking your time to sit with me.
We had hand raised.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yes, please speak, Colin, Jacqueline.
Baba, if you could give us any taboos or warnings or anything regarding health this year.
Specifically in Ejiogbe, Ejiogbe is the Odu where kind of everything comes. So this would be, if you know what your particular taboos are, you need to observe them. The biggest taboo that I would have said that came out of this would be to be careful if you have water taboos, to be careful on the ocean.
Mm-hmm.
Especially if you're somebody that's a child of Yemonja, be careful in the ocean. For all of our children of Yemonja, that you don't need to be swimming in deep waters. And that can just, and that's a physical aspect, but that's also from, the mental aspect of swimming in some of those deep waters. Now, what I would recommend also, Jacqueline, is making sure that you get a personal Dafa for the year so that it tells you what your orientation is for the year. Because as we say, like everything comes in as Yogbe. All of the positive and all of the negative can be seen as Yogbe, depending upon which side of it you're seeing. We have the blessing of it coming in E-Ray this year. So we're going to take the E-Ray. We're not going to add extra taboos on it that we don't need to. But if you know that you have a specific Ewo, you need to make sure that you observe it. Ashe.
Anything about health?
F1 Layo.
Hey, I just wanted to check back. Is there any timeline or like how soon do we need to make the Ebo to our Oshuns?
So Oshun's, I would try to do it within the first 16 days of the year.
Okay.
So the major Ebo that we're doing is actually going to be done on January 18th, but it's actually Oshe Ifa, the day that we're making the Ebo.
Ta-da.
So that was we'll still be, that's what I'm saying. I'm still gonna actually feed Ifa and do a Bori Rule for the community for the Edge Yogbe. So that we ensure that we're securing the erase. So if you're here for that, bring your Ifa, because Ifa is gonna get fed as well.
Okay, and we're not doing. I was thinking at first that we were doing Oshun all on the same day.
We are doing Oshun on the same day. It's gonna we're gonna feed Oshun, which is the major bowl.
Yeah. But if I don't make it down, I should do my Oshun on that same day.
Yes, you can do the Adi Oshun on that same day.
That's what I mean. Okay. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
In the bath.
In the bath, you need to find a priestess of Oshun and let her know what the reading came and ask her to make the bath for you.
Okay. What day is that again? January
18th.
18. Okay.
18th. It's the Saturday.
Got it. All right. Multiply.
And so for those people who are here in the Atlanta area, I will consult. My mom is a priestess of Oshun, so I may have her already have some baths pre-made for the date of the Ebo. So if you haven't already gotten the bath, you can pick up the bath from her on January 18th when the date of the Ebo. As far as the Adimu, if you, when giving an offering to Orisha, it should always be accompanied by Obi and Omi Tutu if you have the ability to. If you're in a Leo and you don't have the Orisha, then that's one thing. But if you're a priest and you have Oshun, when you go to do the Adimu, make sure that you do Obi and Omi Tutu so that it's accepted and there's nothing specific that Oshun wants from you specifically. And so there was a question, should we do the Adimu before the 18th? Yes, absolutely. You can do the Adimu with Oshun before the 18th. Give it Obi and Omi Tutu when you do it to make sure that it's accepted. I would do a personal divination on behalf of my Iya for which she can charge for the bath. If you don't have it, you can go give the offering at the river. If you don't have the Orisha Oshun, but you got Eshu, you can take Eshu with you and you can throw Obi to Eshu. If you don't have Eshu, you can just go and leave the Adimu at the bank of a river.
Baba, is there anything about health in the Odu that we need to be concerned with?
No, not particularly. It came in E-Ray. It didn't come with any specific health taboos this year. That's why I was saying you should make sure that you still get a personal divination for the year. If there are any particular health concerns that may be around, you want to make sure you get a divination for the year.
Are we doing a flag this year, Baba?
Nope.
Okay.
There was no particular flag for this year. Listen, I'm gonna tell you, when we get a win, take the win. And so what I mean is, right? If things are, and it's just that. No, I think that it's important to ask questions and to delve deep when you can, so that you have all of the information that's possible. However, it's one of those things where it's like throwing Obi. Like if you throw Obi and you get an Alafia, a lot of times you're gonna take the Alafia. You know what I mean? Right. And so the thing is, if you get Ejiogbe and Ire, then take the Ejiogbe and Ire. If the you know, and if there are specific concerns, then you look into those specific concerns, and to do that, you get a Dafa.
I would just say, because there were two people that asked about health. I think that Obe speaks about mental health. It's like, trust your own head, and then if there are things that you still have questions about, do your research and make sure you do follow what you find. But it's up to you to make sure that you take care of yourself.
Absolutely. Ejiogbe tells you to follow your own Ori. That the first deity is Ori. So that reaffirms the need for personal accountability. Because Ejiogbe speaks about personal accountability and not procrastinating on things that you know you need to do. So there was a question, can you go ahead and give the offering to Oshun at the river if you don't have Oshun and still come to the cleansing? Absolutely. Give the offering at the river and then come to the cleansing on the 18th. Or you can bring the offering to the cleansing you can bring the offering of the oranges and the cinnamon and the honey and bring it and offer it to Oshun when we do the Ebo. Because there's going to be a big Ebo for Oshun. Oshun is going to be dressed up. We're going to feed it and then we'll probably dress up. If we get it together, we might even play for EI this year. I think that might be appropriate. We'll see, depending on how many donations I get in, and we can get if I can get the, yeah.
Because you're doing too much. Chill out.
Once again, I want to thank everybody for their participation during the Dafa for the year of 2025. Yes.
Oh, I know you said we're gonna feed Oshun, but should we bring out Oshun?
You can bring your Oshun to be fed. If you have Oshun,
I got Oshun and Olokun. So
Olokun isn't being fed at J Bale this year.
You more so like, hey,
yeah,
be on point when you.
Yeah, he's it's like Olokun is like the supporting character for the year, which is one of those things where we talk about to make sure that you are in alignment with your Ori, because Olokun helps to ensure that we have mental stability. He gives you that foundation to make sure that you're not feeling crazy, so to speak. Yeah.
And it's $65 for the Ebo.
Yeah, it's $65. So every individual person that you can send in $65 or bring the $65 with you, and that'll be the direction for the Ebo for this year.
You know how much for the bad Baba, like she gonna have that.
I'm gonna do I'll do a divination for her specifically, to ask, because really what needs to be done is she needs to ask her Oshun what she should charge in order to make this bath for people, and then she'll probably divide what herbs need to go into the particular bath. I don't know what that's going to cost, and so I'll let her take care of that, and then when I put out the invitation for the community, I'll let them know that if they want to purchase the bath at the time of the community celebration, what the direction for the bath is going to be. Okay. Once again, I want to thank everybody for your participation. I'm going to go on and close the Zoom, and I will see you guys on the 18th.